long. If he finds confidence, then it's a completely different look for Sharks, too. You have a guy who's been towards the bottom of the scoreboard consistently since his addition, who's able to fly up and take over rounds and have good impact. But enough about the guesswork. It's time for the action. Mirage between 9Z and Sharks here. Elimination matchup. Lower bracket final between these two sides. 9Z on the CT side. Double dualies. Wasso and Martinez, a flash from Max. Bit of utility as well over on the young Sharks side of things. Double flash, smoke, and a Molotov. No P250. And a Palace pop with 3 holding A and a fast rotate buda. This can end very poorly or very well for the young Sharks.
See, 9Z are perfectly poised to avoid a Palace pop. A player far CT, a player stair spotting, and a player close ramp to avoid any pressure. It's gonna get cleared, perhaps, maybe not. DGT from Spawn finds 2. There we go. Huaso Peak activates, catches Artie and Sao towards the ramp, and that's the 3 for the price of 1. Max fell in the chaos, but it's still more than manageable. Doc and Goffalo have to bring it back from the brink, both pushing CT Spawn, knowing they have to play their numbers as best they can in individual duels. Well done to find the first. And we enter an awkward stall phase. They know where Huaso Peak is. He's towards ramp, made his presence known earlier. Their 2 are a bit of an unknown. Both are currently in towards jungle and window. They're holding their ground. Sharks double back. Look to re-enter this A site from CT Spawn. Now that information on the single player in Huaso Peak. Goffalo gets very close to the player's jungle. Gets away, or does he? Buda beheads him, leaving just Doc, the man, to try to do it all. He finds nothing. Huaso Peak from the sidelines gets that final frag with the dualies. And 9Z take the pistol with a nice fanciful setup on A.
Yeah, I like the setup. It's a good counter, a good read from 9Z. They hit their shots. It starts with DGT, the man you want it to start with, and it ends with the rest. Huaso Peak comes in, does some good work. And overall, no bomb plant. Easy round for 9Z, keeping it relatively clean, just losing 2. No force buy from young Sharks out of that either, so they're going to have a couple P250s. That's it. Smoke in towards apartments. Young Sharks meandering forward into apartments now as the smoke blocks their entrance. Only one here. Buda's A1S could be overwhelmed. A bomb plant is possible. There isn't really too much help because Max is all the way up towards top middle, and DGT's a long rotate away. He's gone from CT and in towards middle. Buda spots out a couple. He sprays about 5 bullets away. He's got damage, but he's only got 1 kill. That is not nearly enough. DGT spots out 1, takes down the M4, but the bomb is down. That's mission accomplished for young Sharks here. Nice little taps through his teammate by Huaso Peak, and DGT will get some eco frags. He will farm up the last 1. Nice and smooth again overall for 9Z, but surrendering the bomb plant is a bit of an issue here, as it's extra money that young Sharks would not otherwise have had.
Bit of extra cash. We're coming back to the cams to fix something on our end of production. Hopefully it's just a brief moment before we get back into the action, but I do agree. I think Buda got very unlucky on that opener. He swung at the wrong time, didn't get the initial kill, and of course that rapid double dink on the drive-by over towards bench sealed his fate. Very unfortunate. The Glock can be a very fickle weapon, but it looked very good in that player's hands. And here we go. We are back in game. 2-0. With rifles in hand and a lot of utility behind it as well. Martinez going straight for the op as well on the 9Z side in the 9Z camp. That might be the X factor. There's no op on the Sharks side to rival. Top middle. Sharks effectively locked out of that position. Looks like an A commitment's on the cards. Only 1 player here. Far back at triple. 2 towards connector though. Very quick in rotation if necessary. Looks like Max is dividing his attention between Khan and Palace. GT as well as in towards the ladder. So a lot of players potentially in close proximity to the site as the X Factor comes through. Huaso Peak, how many can he find on site? He's committed in, kind of towards Ninja, and a little bit of an off angle. Flash goes in, no, it's a smoke towards Palace instead. Pepe, it drops Max. Martinez gets a trade, but Koala entering in, takes down the side anchor. Advantage secured, and now a difficult retake ahead of 9Z. bomb goes down towards triple. Oh, that's a very aggressive plant. The op was a little bit further ahead. It could have stopped it entirely. Now the retake becomes very difficult.
That spam through triple with the MP9 not really going to do much, but Martinez is able to drop Doc. Buda trying to get closer and closer, close the gap with the SMG, needs to get in tight. There's a player sandwich you can run around, but time is running out here for 9Z. Artie and Zhao, one but only one. DGT trades. Stay or go. Make the move now, and going is almost foolhardy. There's not. Wait, he's on it. This is smoke. And what a cover from DGT. Koala's got the trade, but it doesn't matter. Martinez has the defuse. He might get out of here alive as well as Koala runs out of ammunition in the AK-47. And 9Z lucky to escape with a third round on the board, but escape they do. And it's those kinds of margins that can make or break a team that's trying to fight for their life. It is still early, but a boon to the 9Z side and a boom potentially to the Sharks' mental as they call an instantaneous tactical timeout to counter that. That's a hard break, but what a play by DGT, what a call by 9Z. Smokes down, stick it, he's got your back.
Very well read, throwing the smoke for the triple defuse. Good covering support as well to throw in a bit of chaos at the dying embers of that round. Op staying alive is also rather important. They would not have been able to afford it otherwise. And while 9Z's economy isn't great because these rounds have been scrappy, still have enough to reinvest, and again, they still have that op. Young Sharks, near max loss bonus combined with the bomb plant. That means they're gonna get AKs, lacking some utility on Artie and Sao and Pepe, but that's fine. That's recoverable. The question is, can they actually get it across the line? They were so close in that prior round. Their A execute looked good. Here we go. This is what we wanted to see from 9Z. Aggression. They pushed middle more than once thus far. And the trend continues, this time with an M4 from Max. He's dancing around the smoke, looking for something. He'll dodge that flash. Maybe even get two here. One, not the second, but good damage onto Artie and Sao. Trade from Buda on Catwalk's good in spite of the flash. Advantage secured for 9Z, and still a good amount of utility left on the belts. Minute 15 left in the round.
Lots of time left to work with for Sharks, but they are down a man, and now Buda and Martinez are aggressing through apartments, a two-prong force. The op shot doesn't really connect, but they are not going to expect Buda after that smoke goes down. He can continue to creep through kitchen, get in behind, and backstab. The information will be there that nobody's pushing through apartments, so be careful of your underpass. DGT already wary of something towards Cat and snipers, re-clears the corner and backs away, now expecting the boost. That pre-aim is for somebody standing on top of the ledge, but Pepe and company moving up connector the slow way. Huaso Peak solo defender, both Martinez in towards window. DGT can watch Con itself. DGT, one a bit messy. Second one not going to go his way. It's a good trade by Pepe. Huaso Peak's not revealed. Martinez got the backstab with the bomb dropping to his feet. Molotov to force Huaso Peak out, but he'll still find the kill before he roasts. Two alive, not great for that CT economy, but no bomb plant means a half buy likely. Never mind, Sharks do not want a half buy. They're going to go all in here. AKs, Galils, Techs, Max. Sharks do not want to let 9Z out to a 5-0 start.
No, they don't. Again, this aggression. Keeping young Sharks from getting comfortable. Preventing them from going for their defaults. Ensuring that 9Z are always one step ahead tactically. Young Sharks cobble the buy together. Scrappy with two Galils and a Mac 10, as you mentioned. Switch things up. An early commitment towards B is on the cards. Again, still, there's a second defender here. Martinez is here. So is DGT on Catwalk. There's three ready and waiting. 9Z reading Young Sharks perfectly, getting two thus far. Keeping them bottled up in the choke point as Buda continues to harass, this time from bench. This round is a disaster for the Sharks. Koala will do his darndest to get them back into it, but he is now alone and on an island. 1v3 spammed by Buda. Op recovered. And a trend that continues for 9Z. 5-0. As things could not be going better for them. Well, I guess they could have a better economy, but 5 rounds with 0 against is a very good start for them on their opponent's pick.
Oh yeah, this is a confident start from 9Z, and more of what we expect to see from them consistently. Tempered aggression, good rotations, good reads. I think they were expecting a B pop on pistols. That's why they had 3 players in the vicinity. They weren't expecting it to be a full investment rifle and MAC 10 round. So a positive surprise for 9Z and a very unlucky response for Young Sharks. Max here, now ready to spot towards ramps, takes an information peek, sprays away, but Huaso Peak will have the first kill in the round. Martinez now posted up, sees a couple heads cross, takes a quick shot, not going to connect that one. Already ends out, just trying to peek across and stay alive. There is some Palace presence, it's expected. That is Koala with the hero Galil. That's a sentence you don't really want to hear all too often, a hero Galil. But it's better than a hero Famas, so I guess you'll have to take it if you're Young Sharks. But overall, losing that first player and having all this information against you does not bode well for the rest of this round, although it's been a bit of a rotate off to a 2-1-2 from 9Z. With Max and Huaso here, it's still going to be tough, and that's a perfectly timed peek from Huaso Peak. Max has his back and the last 2. 9Z can do no wrong.
Do no wrong. At this point, they're making the rounds cleaner. They're preventing the bomb plant to hamstring that T economy. Everything's coming up 9Z as they finally hit their groove. It looked touch and go at the start, you know, scrappy. They had a ninja defuse in a 1v1. They had 3 players go down. They lost the bomb plant in round number 2 against Glocks. But they've ironed things out very cleanly. Sharks can realize that. They know they need some help. They call another tactical pause at the halfway point of the first half. I would say this is a perfect time to do so as well. Because while this isn't a map that is T-sided for either of these teams, it's still a very dismal start to go down 6-0. They need at least 4 or 5 rounds on this T-side, ideally. Both teams, as I mentioned, not T-sided teams on this map, but they are just outside that 50% win rate. Checking my stats now. 48.5 for Sharks, 46.6 for 9Z. So yeah, you'd expect 4-5 rounds on this T-side. You could eke by with 3 or 4 if you get the pistol round, but that's a lot to hinge on a pistol round, so pressure's on for Sharks.
The pressure is indeed on for Sharks, and so far, they don't seem to be deep water fish, Nate. Not quite. It's a great Molotov, too, for top mid. Underpass control also taken by 9Z. They've peaked in that direction. Although it could lead up to a false positive, as now they're pushing up middle. Only 1 player here to defend B is Martinez, so retake is going to have to be the case. Buda's up on catwalk. He's not too far away to help out if some sort of clue is given over. But now he's dropped down into mid as well, watching bottom mid. Look at all the mid control here from 9Z, and no control on the extremities. Just a smoke towards Palace. The flash should reveal things. Across is shot down by Martinez, as now Max can come through to help out his opper. Max peeks again. He spots another as Buda takes the contact this time. Wherever there's a 9Z player, there appears to be 2 or 3. Gaffalo last alive, looking to do something insane, but all he can do is tank damage and get dinked. Nothing for Young Sharks. Off the timeout, a flawless counter from 9Z. And the momentum continues to scale in favor of the South American mix.
9Z, again. Touch and go at start. Glean at the midpoint. At this point, I don't see any signs of them slowing down. You mentioned it could be difficult given the fact that they put so many players at middle. The beauty of having 4 at middle is that the rotations are quick and they're smothering. 2 players on catwalk wasn't even a factor going into the heads of Young Sharks in that round, and they are caught as a result. No bomb plant, as we talked about. No money as a result. So it's Deagles and a little bit of Kevlar on the bulk of the Young Sharks squad. In fact, it's 5 Deagles and 5 sets of Kevlar, 3 of them with helmets in round number 8.
Well,
okay.
That works for
Really middle for 4. That's a good opening. UGT and Khan also belabored spray gets exploited. Now things can get interesting. Those weapons are not recovered.
Yeah, that's the one thing. The mid gun is going to be hard to recover. But that is a how do you do from Doc. Buda and Martinez, the last two alive. The Deagles have picked apart 9Z perfectly. That's the problem with a little too much confidence, too. You take the duels, and all it takes is one quick shot from the hand cannon. And night. Still, though, the money for 9Z is solid. And this is still a winnable round, especially now that that's been sold. Buda's able to back away unscathed from the first contact. Sprays with dropping the bomb as well. Swaps to the sidearm. Has to be careful of apartments. There is one coming from that direction, but he gets onto sight. He can't do anything, though, as Martinez leaves the op behind. Picks up an AK. It's a doable 1v3. Only one gun salvaged for Young Sharks. They do have armor behind this. Cat player already in Zhao might be able to finish this one off as the smoke fades. Martinez on the AK and not the op. Sees utility fly in. He's tagged down, and I think it's save call time. Grab the op back. And just run for the hills here. It's going to be a long time for him to attempt the save. But it's a lot more viable low HP with an op than anything else. And Young Sharks committing everyone to this. This was a good read. They know that he bailed out through CT, but... or through
They
con.
want guns. They want guns.
Yeah.
I can respect it. They should know Martinez is low. Should have no attempt in this round. Makes sense. Big one for them to win, but it feels like a round that 9Z gave away more than Sharks won.
Mm-hmm. Just over-peaking, overconfident. Dry peaks against Eagles.
Ego peaks.
Yep.
Which, I mean, you're riding the high of a 7-0 start. It makes sense. Unfortunate for Buda there in that essentially a 1v4 on Cat. The final three players surviving had helmets. So even with the USP, it would not have been an easy road. It would have been 2 dinks per.
Yeah, he had enough time to reload. He just didn't realize it.
I think they slowed down expecting him to reload, and that's why he didn't.
Yeah.
They were going to pop on him as soon as he did. Again, mid is the call. Makes sense for 9Z. Young Sharks, though, lined up and ready to rebuke. 2 towards top mid with a third on support, throwing the flashes. Buda on catwalk takes contact, not committing though. There we go. He goes forward with Max. It's trades. Huaso Peak and Max find one a pop. Buda falls. Gaffalo is trying to dig the team back out of this hole. He has 2 on the op, the only 2 for his team in the round thus far. Get to see a real op duel proper. I think this is the first round we've seen Gaffalo get one out.
It is. Max also went underpass to apartments. So he has some sort of control that direction. And Young Sharks are stuck in middle wondering what the next play is from 9Z. But the next play from 9Z is just to play the angles and wait for Sharks to take a move. Right now for 9Z it just seems it's the tennis strategy of just returning the ball and making your opponent make a mistake. Oh, that's great information. Not shooting is huge for Huaso Peak. He's just going to rotate into B. Martinez can take a shot up on catwalk. Gaffalo's going to watch for it. And now they have to go with 25 seconds on the clock. Max and Huaso Peak are already ready. The jig is up, and it's time to clamp down upon them. Huaso has the first. Gaffalo stabbed in the back. That is a response from 9Z, but what a play from Huaso to get that little bit of information, not reveal that he has it, and just let Sharks have this false sense of security that they can stroll on into the B site. Martinez pops him from behind, and that just begins the downward spiral.
9Z, go for the ego peaks. You can tell a little bit boisterous. I'm sure the voice comms are a little bit crazy there. Lose the round and then sober up immediately. Say, all right, back to business, lads. They don't peak, overextend whatsoever in that round. And that was a round that was solely hinging upon the fact that they would overextend. Very well done from 9Z to tie things back up, or to tighten things back up, I should say. And now they're going for something different again. A stack towards ramp doesn't work out as they would hope. Also, Peak disentrenched. The op shot of Martinez Zod misses as well. Only a 4 versus 5, still recoverable. Martinez needs to be very careful. The player in Palace uses his smoke towards ramp instead. He's going to play up close and personal. This is a risky game. Koala's playing a very passive spot.
Martinez is raising my blood pressure right now, and finally he's falling away. He's got cover from Max as well. Misses a shot, a critical one. Spots ahead, but Max and Martinez both go down. Gafolo and Koala to get the kills as DGT and Buda try to bring this back at a 2v4. Buda's stuck on Catwalk. DGT wants nothing to do with it. He's already bailed out. And so Sharks will at least get a second round on their T side. I don't think they'll hunt, though. Their money's not great. The money for 9Z enough to survive this. But overall, aside from little gifts given to young Sharks by over-aggressive 9Z pushes, there's been nothing positive for the full Brazilian lineup.
No, it's been gimmick rounds and ego peaks. Those are the two that they've won. The first one was the ego peaks on the Deagles. We talked about that. We've covered it a lot at this point. And then now it's a gimmick play. We've seen that in North American ECL for like 5 seasons now. Just the double up ramp with the op holding the close corner. It's a bait and switch that everybody at this point knows at this level. It was a gimmick play that could definitely work out, but just didn't in this case.
Terrorists win.
Either way, Young Sharks taking what they're given at the very least, not letting that go by the wayside, securing it, keeping 4 alive, ensuring their economy is good for these final pair of rounds in the first half. The buys for both teams near identical. It's full M4s, full A1Ss as well, might I add, and the op. Versus full AKs and the op for Young Sharks. What does 9Z set up this round? Are they going back to the bread and butter, the classic aggression down middle? Gonna go for another maybe peek towards an extremity. We've seen that double up in apartments before as well. Looks like that might be the call as there are 3 players here. Max, though, is the one to start things off. He holds middle with the M4, and at range, he'll get the opener. Artie and Sao taken down, kind of bullied in this first half. And the op duel towards ramp is taken by both Gafolo and Martinez Zahn. He's the one that comes out on top, furthering the advantage. 5 versus 3. Koala gets 1, but he's immediately traded. DGT drops Doc elsewhere, and Buda combining forces with the op puts this round to bed. 9-2, 9Z swiftly back into the winner's column, and that is both rounds that Young Sharks have won, isolated between a sea of 9Z victories.
You're never going to have a prolonged success if you cannot string rounds together, and Young Sharks find both of their rounds on islands. And even if they do get a third, do you even call it an archipelago? I don't know, because it's a small boat in the middle of the ocean.
It's doable at 3-9.
It is
Requires
doable.
pistol, second and even third, but it's doable.
It's doable, not easy, but it's doable, and that is not the start to the round that they need. That actually might open it up, though. That's an over-aggressive peek from Martinez of the second try. That really makes this one a lot more winnable for Young Sharks. I do not like that second peek at all.
No, bit of an overextension. Still a 4 versus 4, and Sharks have not recovered the op. They also still have compromised weapons and compromised utility. No smokes left. It's just Molotovs, flashes, and nades. A Mac 10 for Pepe. Far from ideal. This is still a round that 9Z are favored to win.
Yeah, they have the utility. Molotov, nades, smoke, or no smoke, but flashbangs.
No smokes at all.
Buda's going to have to anchor this really well. Look at the info from DGT, though. As soon as anything is spotted B, the rotations have to be called. Huaso's already on his way. Utility's out. Buda's just waiting. Spots out 1. Sees another run, but he cannot do more than that. Huaso peeks come through, but Koala dumpsters him. The flank from DGT in the 1v2 can seal it all. He's going in towards mid now. Elects not to go through apartments, giving himself a little more space to work with. Moving catwalk instead. Gafolo watching towards market, has no idea where this last man is coming from. He's up and get right. DGT slow and steady. Has a bit of time to work with. Knows that he has it as well. Goes back, grabs an extra piece of utility. That's a smoke on the ground. Molotov to get right. He's going to force Gafolo out into the open. Now last player, Koala, stuck over towards Van. Time is of the essence, though. DGT needs to get this one down. Smoke will be naded, but DGT plays around it. Time is gone, and so there's a third round for Sharks. It's 9-3, 9Z as we hit the break.
Sharks woke up late, but still secured 3 rounds in the first half of their map pick. It's Pineapple Phillips and Boggs to bring you the action. And Young Sharks to start the run back into this first map, as again, the pressure is on. Map number 2 will offer no respite to them. It will be even more brutal than the first. Can they take this pistol? I think all chances on this map rely on this pistol. Exactly. I'd say pistol conversion, even the third, seem like they might be necessary in a comeback. 9Z look to go swiftly out ramp. 4 players here, 1 in Palace. Pepe and Ardian Sao combined with Doc to try and hold, but Huaso Peak finds the first. Pepe trying to get trades is good for 2. Martinez puts him to bed though. Even footing, 3 versus 3 as the plant is faked. The player stares and Martinez gets 1. Not the second as the dualies come through, but in the meanwhile, Ardian Sao has fallen. Just Goffalo, 1v2. He knows where they are, it appears. Max is low on HP. This is very doable for the dualies, and he's gotten a perfect timing, spamming away DGT. The last alive has bomb at least, but Max on low HP.
Oh my
would be
gosh.
hard pressed to find this one. Oh, it's perfectly timed.
He's read this so well, Max. He
Goffalo
just
had
has
the
to
perfect-
win the duel in the end, which is going to be tight. It's going to be tough, but what a read from... Was that a P250?
Is.
That
Or is
makes
it P2K?
Either way, that would make it so much more viable. But he doesn't want to make the noise. He's just crept towards CT.
Run up. Plenty of time. Kit picked up some utility instead. Goffalo trying to clear angles as fast as possible. It's planned to default. Max, though, around triple. This is totally an unexpected spot. Kit has been recovered. Stick is coming through. Max got a swing. The headshot secured. The round taken. 9Z clutch for Max. Very well done. Perfect timing, as you mentioned. Goffalo, he got the timing to swing around the site to get the kill with the dualies to bring it to the 1 versus 1. But in kind, Max gets the timing out ramp and completely jukes, breaks the legs of the remaining CT player. 10-3 secured, and as we said, basically all of the aspirations of Young Sharks on this map relied on the pistol. They come up short. Their backs are against the wall. And so they will be trying their best with what they can afford. MP9's a scout, a deagle, a 5.7, no kit, and a dream to take their map pick.
Well, the Deagle does damage, but unfortunately, it takes 3 to the chest and only 2 to the stomach, so Huaso Peak lives to tell the tale for now. Opens things up onto Doc, who has had a magnificently poor performance. 2 and 12 with only 46 ADR right now. For who you expect to be the star man of Young Sharks. Huaso finally removed. Pepe's able to pop a couple with the MP9. Martinez gets stabbed in the back from Gaffolo up on Catwalk. And somehow Young Sharks have salvaged the bomb plus a man advantage here. DGT does have an AK. He's coming in towards window. Buda up on Cat. This is a situation, a 2vx situation we have seen before. And 9Z were not able to pull it through with these 2 members. But that changes everything. Buda and DGT now off the back of that pick on the scout can make more damage. Buda peeking into ladder, domed by Koala, had that 5-7 now to a Galil. RDN Zao around. Smoke down for the bomb. But is it too deep? DGT might just go over the smoke here. Did he spot? No, that's the X-ray betraying us instead. Expecting somebody to come from behind. He has to know there's both players cat now. Surely he knows that information. He'll walk around looking tall, but no peeks coming through from Young Sharks. They should bail out here. There's only 15 seconds. Koala, or Ardian Zao rather, should just get out of dodge here. Yeah, he's starting to run. So is DGT, and Young Sharks will win the all-important second round. That is something that will keep them alive.
It will. The double from the MP9 is huge. It gets the tag, which is then a bag for the scout as well. Technically 3 kills off of it towards connector. Massive set here from Pepe. 1, 2, tag onto the third. The scout swings and trades it immediately. DGT, our player to watch, tries his best to bail the team out, but Young Sharks do not overstep on Catwalk. Very well played in that 2 versus 1. I was worried when the scout went down. The scout felt critical to me. He could get the body shot for 70 and make those players far more susceptible to the pistol and the MP9. But up close, that 5.7 just seems unstoppable. Doc in window, trying to come alive individually. He finds the first. That's Martinez taken down. The scout picked up by Huaso Peak. It's 9Z's turn to go for the force buy.
So far, not so good for 9Z. And now Pepe's turn to farm. He's had an okay performance so far. Third on the team in kills at 9. One away from double digits, but he's on an island here. But Gafolo has made his way back to support a smoke into Palace. And Pepe, no longer having to watch that angle, can focus on somebody walking out a ramp. Gafolo can come around and help out pretty quickly if required as well, but it's DGT to entry with that AK, saved from the last round. Pepe. Time. Now, not on his side as he gets mollied into the open. Flashbang high, that helps out, but he's only able to get one onto Buda. Max trades it back. Gafolo's trying to do some damage, but he can't do anything at all. Doc 1-for-1. DGT doubles up, and he's still got plenty of health as well. 35 seconds to go, but Max has fallen. DGT 1v2. Bomb picked up, 30 seconds to go. Flashes high, and runs away. I don't think he's going to double back either. He's going to book it all the way to B. Take the gamble, get it down, try and hold off in a 1v2. It's a winnable one, unless he goes... He's gonna go catwalk. He's got no time.
They're both here. Swing comes in, he catches Koala, but Willie's with the second. No way. Artie and Sal should have this dead to rights. DGT caught. It might have been a second remaining if he got to the site immediately there, uncontested. 10-5. Sharks are awakening. They're getting an investment, a pretty solid one as well. And 9Z should be forced to save. They didn't get the bomb plant. The force buy doesn't pan out. DGT makes that round mighty expensive for the Sharks, who now have to reinvest most of what they had. Straight Glocks and a Deagle. DGT using those gains from the kills in the round prior. 2. Rushing in the apartments. It feels like a double fake. Sending a couple aggressively in towards apartments. Letting them fall, and then re-aggressing later once the rotations go back. What? Everything's kind of stalled.
That's a nice opening.
He's that lone player in apartments. In fact, his team is doubled back. He's just alone trying to entry, and he gets one. It's a second. Way. He's pulled the rotation. Bomb plant can be secured towards A at this point. The Glocks should be able to outgun Pepe. Gafolo gets the trade. Now they know. Now Young Sharks are wise to what's going on. It's just that one player running distraction. The MP9 spots them all. But can it stop the rundown? That's the question. Can it stop the plant? It doesn't seem like it. Bomb hits dirt. Mission accomplished. At this point, any damage is welcome, but not required. This round has been a win in 9Z's eyes. They all fall. Defuse secured. 3 survive for Sharks. That's good. That's the minimum. That's the minimum in terms of survival, and also they let the bomb plant go down. So 9Z can rally their economy in the next round and a deal vie for victory.
Yeah, now a real test for Sharks to have to overcome. No op for Gafolo either. They'll have utility. They have the AUG, M4s and AKs. I'm surprised not to see an A4 over on Young Sharks. But it's AKs for 9Z. Up and down the board. Plenty of utility as well. AXX on the cards here as they're throwing everything ready for this one. Smoke out to Palace, 4 ramp side, 1 in Pal. That's DGT. He has just about double the kills of his next teammate. He's been a one-man show, and, well, not to brag or anything, but he was our player to watch, so I think we're doing good with that. But this is a great read from Young Sharks. They have Gafolo pushing all the way through. They see the smokes coming in. They know exactly what's coming through. It's going to be a 5v5 scrim for the site. Counter util raining through. Firebox double mollied. Wasso peeks close. No bomb plant yet. Max actually has that towards stairs. And still no contact here as Gafolo is crawling forward on the flank. Wasso peek towards jungle. Doc swings out. Buda cannot trade. He reloads dangerously, and he's put down as well. Doc's got 3. Martinez will not be long for the world as the bomb rests out in the open on A. And 9Z's first gun round falls flatter than a pancake. That is a flawless one for Sharks, and a confidence boost with no mistake. But for 9Z, what in the world was that call?
Straight scrim out A when they're the ones disadvantaged in terms of utility. A little bit scared, overly tepid to attempt the plant. Once the utility subsided, it was a bloodbath. Multiple corridors, multiple avenues of advantageous fights for young Sharks. For jungle, for CT, of course that flank. So it's a half buy. Hero Khalil for DGT. He's investing down quite a bit. They're still surrounding. Sharks once more are going for this aggression in towards apartments. Gaffalo. He flanked before. They're going for this exact kind of press. Also peek. Seems like he knows it's possible. He's going to walk in. And he wins the duel outright. He doesn't even get traded. Gets an upgrade for his troubles. And now he can race in towards the site. A missed molly for Artie Sao as he's also caught by the very same player. Doc racing out, tries to stop them, but Buda racing with the Tech 9 takes him away while ADing back and forth. Pepe and Koala, the final pair, both towards market with no control out the window.
And the Van nade fails.
All the utility fails. 11 secured. And 9Z might just hunt down these weapons as well. Keep in mind it was a half buy. What, Max will lose a Tech 9 in armor? Easily.
Yeah.
Easily be bought. And he'll find one and potentially get the upgrade as well. Koala's now stuck between several players. There should be no way he lives here.
No, he's gonna die. Surely he's gonna die.
Oh, they sidestep one jungle instead. Martinez might push into him. Flash is good. There's a swing. He finds one. The Deagle doesn't get it, but Buda does. 2 players committed and fall. But that is a very favorable trade for 9Z, ensuring that all the rifles drop. And they will now have a very solid investment towards round number 19. Og for Martinez saw AKs and a saved M4 for Buda as well. Young Sharks, 1 solid rifle buy, and after this, their economy will be broken. They have to put their foot down now, otherwise 9Z will have 12. Up for Gaffalo, and full A1S's surrounding.
But it all started with that AUG he had in the previous round.
It did. Where it unraveled.
I love the AUG. I wish it was used more. It's such a good gun, especially because it has the one-shot headshot up close range for CTs.
I was gonna say,
It's just really easy to use.
it was a great call for the apartments. That's why I liked it. No proper contact taken. 9Z doing very much what they did in the first half. Aggression towards middle, getting control.
That's a nice start. Around the edge of the smoke, Buda finds Pepe. And Martinez now can pop with the AUG. The op of Gafolo down ramp. It's a swap of sides there on the A ramp fight, with Koala and Artie Zhao retreating to the safety of B. But it's a dirt fortification right now that they attempt to save in. Not even a wood palisade, Nate. The hunt is on, and Max rings the bell of 1, leaving Artie Zhao as the last man standing, stuck. The frying pan and the fire. And no kills for Sharks. Their money shattered. Their chances absolutely abysmal.
And much like we talked about yesterday, we're doing North America. It's been everybody on 9Z putting in the work. There's only one player who's even on KD. That's Max. Everybody else is positive. We have 12, a 13, a 14, a 15 kills. And of course, that man, that player to watch, DGT, he slowed down in the last couple of rounds, but he still is atop the scoreboard by leagues with 21 on this opening map.
And he's opening space in a lot of these rounds, or lurking. So it's not like he's expected to go in and get all these kills. Wow. Just when you think it can't get worse for Sharks.
A read and a spam. There was no gap. That smoke landed on top towards the flower pot. MP9 up dock, trying to do it all. 1 and 2 on the MP9s and a third on the FAMAS. Okay. An explosion from the Sharks as they have an advantage. South take down the final pair. Wasso Peak and Martinez Zaw. The op is in play. All three coming from Palace, or not Palace, Jungle / Con.
That's a missed shot that might just cost 9Z here. Wasso Peak spray goes astray. Martinez cannot connect the second flick. Goes back for more, but it's Pepe to run him down. Op will be salvaged for Gafolo, and the Sharks keep swimming for one more round. They'll get the defuse here, an AK and an op, but the money for 9Z good enough to buy up again. The money for the Sharks, however, will still be rough and tumble. The saved guns definitely will help. The AK will get dropped over. Gafolo can drop another. The op will be put into his hands, and Pepe will pick something else up. He's had a good performance so far. Been happy with what I've seen from him. But the thing is, for Sharks, it's such a long road back in with the CT side economy, and now we have a technical pause, Nate. It's not attack. Something mechanical.
Hopefully not too serious. No one's disconnected.
Yeah. Hopefully it's like a mouse died or something.
I was expecting like a disconnect here in the next 5 seconds. It'd be really funny. But no, it's coming through. I agree. I hope it's a mouse running out of juice or something like that. As you mentioned, 9Z still have good money. Sharks isn't too bad. They have full rifles that op decent utility, a kit for Koala. Checking the boxes. Artie and Sao, though, is not going to be too well. Actually, I say that he gets dropped the rifle, so it'll be good. Solid investment for them. And Buda on the other side, no questions there. He's going to be able to reinvest fully. He has 9K in the bank.
They'll have all they want on the 9Z side. Won't even be a question. The only question is, can they finish it off? That's the real task. Can they actually pull it off? Can they win the round and close out the map? Because it did go to overtime the last time these two teams played on this map, which wasn't even that far away either.
16-13.
Yeah.
9Z did edge it out, but...
What's the strat here? They know there's going to be rifles now on Sharks. It's not going to be as easy of a round as it was the last time, but they just ended up getting run into by MP9s and not the A exec again. Please no. Please no.
There's only one player here. It's only one player here. This
but if they contact it, then they don't have to worry about the rotates. If they go for the full execute, they're going to get caught on the rotations again. It's the same thing that happened last time.
Visions are already here as well. Stock trying to fight out. Spotted, taken down by Wasso Peak. Max a second. There we go. The entries that they wanted before are being given in spades. DGT through the smoke drops Pepe. Artie and Sal Koala both towards jungle / stairs. The final pair versus 5. Nate goes into side. I'll do some damage. Actually just tickle Buda. That one might do a bit more, but Buda takes shots instead, and that is far more impactful. The last alive Koala should not be long for the world. He doesn't even find one. It's 13-8. 9Z take their opponent's map pick with a convincing flare as well. They stumbled a bit in that second half on T side, but they still overall had a very convincing showing. That first half specifically, so it was 7-0 before the Sharks could get anything on the board. If he really wants to pull it out on the T side, we'll have to wait and see, because that is where they will be beginning this second map.
Yeah, the T side start here for 9Z as we get into Nuke. Hasn't had too many changes as of late. It's been the same map for a while. Remember when Nuke had that little catwalk wraparound thing?
Catwalk wraparound was definitely an interesting one.
That was one of the map choices of all time.
I honestly thought it was interesting.
It was interesting. I think it works better on Vertigo, but that's just me.
I hate Vertigo. It's so
I
bad
don't
now.
like Vertigo, but I do like some of the plays that I've seen from that little catwalk on A. It's made for some interesting plays.
They decided to open up all of elevator because they can
Yeah.
CCT spawn from A. Terrible decision.
I don't like that at all. I really don't like the elevator move.
You can put some boxes in there, something to diversify the angles. But
Yeah.
Let's talk about a map that's not even in play currently. It was banned
9Z
out the
banned it,
outset.
'cause
Yeah,
they don't
9Z
like
banned
it.
it immediately.
Smart
So,
team. No bias.
Sensible team. Sensible team.
Yeah.
Dooley's present for both Artie and Sound Pepe. Koala stuck in a literal corner here, but he does have that support. Max 1-for-1. The Dooley's still kicking, though, for Artien. He's been forced all the way back behind the double doors. DT, a late lurk. Oh, my goodness. This fight from both parties is dismal. Max will find Pepe. Artien trades, but Buda immediately answers in kind.
And there's
When
still
DT's
fighting at ramp.
I was going to say he's dancing at this point, not even fighting. Goffalo wins it eventually. Player lurking out Decon could be the X factor, though. Totally unexpected. As you can see, he gets the kill. Doc finds that. Buda towards double doors. Is it a 1v2 now? Will he be able to see the player defusing if he opens the doors? It's being stuck.
Buda.
Goffalo, no fear whatsoever. Buda, you have to swing now or hold your peace. He'll find one, but not the second. The defuse comes through. Doc gets the kill to add insult to injury. Sharks steal away the pistol by virtue of a belabored 10-second defuse. And that is where the moniker comes from. Pros don't fake.
Yeah, I mean, he has cover, too, so he doesn't need to fake. It's also not planted for Buda, so he doesn't really need to pop off either way. I think that's a misread. I think Buda thought he couldn't defuse safely.
That's what it seemed like.
But that's an interesting one, but 9Z will force back into this one here. Molotov's gonna fly around Ardian's out, and somehow he's not burned. I don't know how he's not, but there's a third Molotov into his position. He finally goes down. It's Buda on the entry. Pepe over in Hut, though, can make this his home. Gafolo gets mowed down by Buda, who upgrades to the A1S. Martinez walks in. Pepe does get the one trade back. But now he's spotted. Buda, or rather DGT, the one to get the kill. As the bomb finally goes down on B site this time. Koala clearing up towards Trophy. Runs into Max. But they think it's A. I think they think it's... No, do they know it's B? Doc's down in tunnels.
They're saving.
Exit kills, yeah. It's a save.
Kills. Respectable call, but painful to see. Buda and DGT could go down with the bomb. You know how obtuse the radius is. And if they do, that's both the M4s drop, so... A little bit scary here. They're both sticking around. There's Wasso Peak going down, the only healthy player. I think they both survived back ramp. I'm not sure where the bomb was planted, but it seems that they're confident. And that confidence was misplaced for DGT. Buda, though, at the very least, does survive, keeping the M4 for this one. Good kill from Pepe here, but duels out of Squeaky Door proved too influential.
Yep.
Tied ball game, one apiece. What is the investment for both teams? We know that the Sharks should be forcing. They are. FAMAS for Artie and Sal, 5.7, MP9s, and an M4. Got Galil's AKs, or a Galil, 2 AKs, a MAC-10, and an M4 for 9Z. Sharks changing things up. No one's at ramp. 2 are immediately rotating around in towards control, perhaps towards secret. 9Z have already sussed this out immediately, though, getting control of ramp with no resistance.
Now the decision is whether they want to wrap or not, and that could be the make or break decision here for 9Z. They are going for the wrap towards heaven. Koala keeps an eye on hell, but the MP9 might actually be the perfect gun for the situation. He's got the bomb and an opening kill, maybe a little bit of support from Artie and Zhao out of yard as well. They're trying to force Koala out into the open, but RDN comes through with a pair on the FAMAS. DGT doubles up as well, tries to transfer over to ramp, but he can find nothing further. So Sharks will grab the second round. They'll keep 3 alive, although Pepe has no gun to carry over into this round, which is a bit unfortunate. At least he has armor. And so he'll get a FAMAS or an MP9 or an M4 around this one. He'll get that one dropped over. A timeout used by 9Z very early for the timeout here from the South American mix. And I don't hate it given the sort of gumption they need to take on this map. And also the lack of overall success they've had, even in the one round they won. They still got fucked apart pretty effectively.
We're at crossroads now. Now talk about it, go for a force by, figure out what kind of goofy play they want to go for. It's going to have to be something gimmicky and unexpected, given the rifle disparity. Or they can save. It's kind of a big crossroads at this point. They all had around 1,800, so it was potentially feasible that they could save for the following. They're going to go for the investment, though. They decided on Martinez Zaw as the scout. Buda on a Galil. GT. Going to go for a Galil. Okay, it's being dropped over. Buda has a Deagle. That was the call. And 2 Tech 9s for Huaso Peak and Max. Round out this shoddy force. Nade doesn't do too much outside. And Z focusing on yard. You have one in the lobby as a bit of a lurk. Any aggression comes through.
Double up towards mini. No, they swap instead. Put the AK for that one-shot headshot close. Garfolo drops down. Drive-by from Huaso. Nets a pair. He'll grab the AK and back away. That's a nice little 1-2 trade back with the Tech 9 running around the corner. Garfolo at least gets one to return, but he's still alive and kicking. Koala's outside as well. He's not expecting the swing from DGT, however, but Huaso has fallen. Takes a lot of damage. Garfolo and DGT will put him down. Just Pepe with full HP, the MP9. Backstab from Buda!
Okay.
That is awkward. And look at this read from DGT up in heaven. 4 spy wars have begun. As it's 2-2. And actually, Young Sharks, now they're going straight for it. They're going back in here.
It's been awkward. This has been scrappy. No rounds have been confidently won. DGT, it feels like he was given that one. Holding in towards heaven with that Galil. Big whiff from Buda as well. He's had an okay start to this map, but that one is definitely a glaring issue. Boost up on credit card box. Seen this before. Actually, we saw it yesterday in NA. It works this time for Doc, and he's sticking around as well. Get a second gift before being felled. Martinez finally opens up the docket with that one. Inside man for DGT, completely overlooked. He went down the vents. He's gotten one for free. And so we're back to even footing, 3 versus 3. MP9s remaining for Garfolo, Pepe, and Koala. The player looking towards vents has already been stymied. Koala trying to fight in towards ramp before they get established is felled by DGT. Again, the hero rocketing to the top of the scoreboard. Garfolo might just get one here on the Huaso Peak. Timing's everything. He will succeed in that endeavor. Still a lot more to do. 2 versus 2, and time is ticking. Garfolo, quarterly low. Pepe swinging to so much damage, but can't secure the kill. Garfolo, the last, is caught by the very same. Martinez Zaw tripling down in the round. And that should be the end of the 4 Spy Wars, Boggs. 2 in a row, won, and by 9Z to
On
gain
the
advantage.
T-side.
Yeah, the T side critically as well. That's a good point.
Yeah, things were a bit equipoised for a minute, but it starts to slip into the favor of 9Z. However, Sharks also think we're at a crossroads, and so they elect to call their first tactical timeout of 3 as well. I agree with this call from Young Sharks because they don't really have any racetrack left. They lose this map, it's done. The whole run in ECL Season 47 is over. They have to win to stay alive, and there still is Ancient as a 3rd map, which is not exactly the best case scenario for them either. It's maybe slightly better than Nuke, but overall, it's not a pretty look for Young Sharks throughout this veto. The fact they have to pick it to Mirage is already a bad start. They're just going to go for a save here. P250 for Doc, and that is it. He's picked up the pace on the kills, though, and that's a good sign for Young Sharks if they want to make this close. They will need their star players to perform that way, and Doc and Garfolo leading the charge with Artie and Zhao next in line. That's about the top 3 you want for Young Sharks. Fast Molotovs in towards A, however, but a stalled push as DGT takes his time. Looking to get some easy kills here on the MAC-10. Has some help from Buda. And actually, DGT gets nothing here. Buda will grab 2. The MAC-10 doesn't get any extra cash, but Huaso's will at the very least. Buda's hat trick and a double for Huaso. 4-2 for 9Z. And now for Young Sharks, this is where the going gets tough. They need to bring it back here. You said 6 at a bare minimum. I think 7 or 8. And right now, they sit 1/3 of the way to 6.
1/3 of the way to the minimum. I think 6 with pistol. I would count the pistol in the second as a 7 and an 8.
I think they need 7 and the pistol.
That's fair.
It's just, I have a lot of faith in 9Z's CT side. That's really what it is, and what it comes down to for me.
Yeah, I agree. Given their form that we saw earlier, 9-3 on CT side of Mirage.
Yep. It's going to be hard to overcome that.
Yes, it will also be going for a bit of a bonus on that Galil, or on that Mac 10, excuse me. Martinez on an op, bringing it out. No one to challenge him. Goffalo has the AUG instead. Again, like to see that rifle. Unfortunate, though, he can't really challenge the op in a proper duel. 9Z starting to commit towards a secret push with a pair of players.
Smokes are going to fade soon, though.
Third lurking up in Buda, though, might open things up in their favor. Lots of damage exchanged. Goffalo over the top finds Waso Peak. Buda, I mentioned he could open things up for them. Up close, he finds one. Artie and Sal going for the trade. Gets a dink as well, but Martinez trades. 3 versus 3. A boost for the op could be big. But no, Goffalo is ready. Taking him down. Max now running the gambit on the cross. Is dinked down to 1. Finished by Koala. EGT. He's that player lurking inside. He's also their star.
Time's low, though.
No bomb. 30 seconds in a 1v3.
I think it's a third for Sharks here. 9Z just couldn't take advantage of the smokes down for the cross, and they got caught in a 4-man crossfire outside. It's a tough one to fight through. And with some good shots from Goffalo up top, Artie and Zhao with the one on the initial on Buda. Just no real trades back, and AGT will save here. The rest of his team has money, so at least that's something positive for 9Z. But it seems, again, that what we brought up in the pre-show, the little bit of trepidation showed by 9Z when it comes to some of these games against domestic competition, is coming through again. It's like that first A take they did on the execute on Mirage, where they just kind of waited it all out and their smokes faded. And then the second time they tried it, they just ran through with flashes high and cleared everything out in about 5 seconds, and it worked way better.
Yeah,
They
I'm not
slowed it
concerned.
down. It didn't work.
I'm not concerned. They're slowing it down. I think they're going to figure that out pretty quickly. They should not be slowing down.
Agreed.
Very brief tech pause there. We're already back into it. Still an op for Martinez. He does reinvest. Goffalo, though, has an op of his own this time around. He won the duel last time with the AUG. Should have an easier go at it this time with the op. Ability slightly favors this CT side as well, but only slightly, only just. Max is missing a smoke and a nade slash flash. GT using a Molotov and a flash of his own. Change up. Still 3, actually 4 still in the yard. Are they going for the closer smokes this time? Are they going for the same pair or same trio? Yes, they are actually. Much like the last, the nade for the smokes to open. Go for the peaks. No one's there this time though. 9Z. Even their timing's better. Crossing towards Secret. The Molotov does nothing anymore. The incendiary, rather.
They're so weak now. I think that's going to make the game a lot more T-sided. But right now, it's dock-sided until he burns in an actual fire. Not the little bit of a lighter or a matchstick that the CT incendiary is these days. B-side under the control of 9Z. Koala's the only defender here. He's already been spotted, and he's just getting harassed. He backs away as he tries to hop into control. DGT takes this round by the horns. Martinez gets caught by Pepe, but Goffalo has been spotted. Max has one. Goffalo, shotgun, no scope onto the first.
Oh.
Nate can take down Max, and it will! 1v1 versus Buda. He's on top of the silo, spots the shadow. Easy kill for him, but expensive round for 9Z as they grab their 5th. That would have been a beautiful 1v3 from Goffalo, playing it so well with that nade. Just one task too many. That last kill onto Buda.
Yeah, Buda's already positioning well on top of the silo. He only needs a one and done. That position is the epitome of a one and done, especially against an op who can only see the legs.
Oh, yeah.
No better spot for him to be there. 9Z, some growing pains because of the expensive round. Also peek on just the Galil. But they only have to vie against pistols in this round, so it should be a rather clean one for them, barring anything crazy. Deagle for Doc, 5-7s for Koala and RDN South, PD50 for Goffalo, full save for Pepe. Yeah, he's holding his ground in towards Trophy. It's a double up here with a third holding back lobby towards the squeaky door. 9Z want to suss out the economy, figure out what the investment is, what they're going up against before they commit anywhere too rashly.
I like this call. I think they're waiting for aggression. They could be coming. They don't want to get caught up by pistols, just like Koala lurking around the corner. That's a great disciplined take from DGT to not push all the way through. There's still the possibility of a player lurking ramp. There's still a possibility of a player up top on boost. Doc does dome once, but
Knife?
the knife? How did Pepe get a knife? He's got an op. This is now a winnable round here as Doc gets another. Pepe's got the op and the bomb at his feet. That turns everything on its head. He must have crept in behind through lobby, found a gap to slip through. And he's got two players to deal with. They're coming in the same angle, both in through lobby side. And he wants nothing to do with the hell wrap. Now he'll check B quickly, but the bomb has been recovered. It's gone. I think he knows it. Yeah, he's scaling forward. Bomb goes down. No utility for the T side. Pepe does have a Molotov, but he's also in the glass cannon, too. He has no armor here. The Galil headshot will do him in. Obviously, the AK headshot would as well. But it's trying to isolate these duels for Pepe that's going to be the hardest. And have they called a save?
Yes, he has to, honestly. His timing was so unfortunate. He stopped peeking to look down bottom ramp as the bomb was grabbed. He barely missed that player crossing towards Mini. I have no idea how he got in the back lines, though. Must have been a perfectly timed flank through hut. I don't think there's any other way it could have happened. Also, exiting in his direction. It's a one-shot headshot for the Galil. He's not committing to the duel. Neither is Pepe. 6-3. Go for DGT. Guys, flanking in towards hut. Saw him on the map there. Gets the knife, gets the op. Perfectly timed, and that knife kill is going to give them a lot of extra money. Allows them to buy that op. Drop it over to Goffalo, who's had a pretty decent map for himself thus far as well. And meanwhile, 9Z are still juggling around a Galil. This time it's on Buda. He's also fragging right along the side of, alongside DGT.
Yeah.
He's having a rare standout performance. It happens seldom, but it's always welcome when it comes through.
Yeah, he has a potential. We've seen it since he joined this roster, which was a long time ago now. And he's had moments where he can show up and perform, but they're just not consistent enough. If Buda could take his game to this level consistently, 9-2 would become a whole nother level of scary. Goffalo already removed, that was that op saved over. All of that hard effort by Pepe just completely taken out by one shot from Max. Things beginning to get a little more difficult here for the young Sharks as 9Z look to snack a 7th on the T side of Nuke. 8-9 still possible as well. Lots of time still left on the clock though, but 9Z are burning down that clock. If they take their time a little bit too much, things will get a little more dangerous. Doc dodges the flashbang and no responsive peeks come through, but look at the flank from Max. The glass is broken. He can slip in behind. He spots the legs. He knows there's one on ramp. He sprays down Doc, and that's a free entry into the B side if they can deal with Koala. He's here, and he's expected. It's Buda who wins the fight with the Galil of all things. And the bomb will go down on B. Pepe and Ardian Zhao, no choice but to save. And the 6th bare minimum will not be possible for Sharks.
Feels like we're winding down this map in this series at this point. Guardians are trying to save. He'll get one. It's on to Buda, but that was the Galil wielder. He might have gotten an M4 upgrade at some point, but still, that loss can easily be soaked up by his teammates, his comrades. As he could even continue to pursue this hunt, they know the ops in CT spawn now, but their economy's a little bit low. I would honestly say save this one. Save these 4 AKs. Hunt later. 7-3 secured.
Terrorists win.
This map started out a lot scrappier than Mirage did, but Scoreline is still looking very similar. It ended 9-3 after the first half on map number 1. 9-3 still looks like a distinct possibility right now, given how 9Z is kind of taken over this first half.
Yeah, but this would be 9Z on the T set. And the T set of Nuke on top of it all, which just makes it all the more worrisome for Young Sharks. Goffalo has the op again, but it almost feels like this is the last ditch round for Young Sharks. If they lose this, it's a 9-3. 8-4, still not great. 7-5, still bad. There's, at this stage, minimal positive signs for Sharks and for 9Z. They have everything, and they just slip one down in defense. That is, it is heard, but if he just sits here and causes chaos, which seems to be the plan, that would be huge. No backstab yet. Max was the first one to fall. Molotov goes double doors, full of smokes. There comes DGT, who also peak actually gets dropped by Doc, however, as 9Z look to go back up secret and counter this. They whiff the spray again, but Buda has the trade. 2v3 still winnable for 9Z, but a lot more difficult now, even though they have the time on the clock to work with. Buda spots out Goffalo, and he is having himself a moment. Buda and DGT, 2v2 from a 2v3. These two had a lot of these opportunities on Mirage, weren't able to really close them out, but this time they're making it work. Buda's cooking with some premium gas. And down to B they go again. Koala, the one man here. Artie and Zhao has the MP9 up on A. And if Koala gets isolated, I have to wonder if Artie and Zhao even attempts to go for this. Or if he tries to save either one. It seems like the wrong call. They have to win, Young Sharks. There's no other option. Nothing else can even be somewhat of a boon. He's tucked deep into the corner. Do they expect this angle? No, they don't. Buda walks blindly. DGT sprays away. He's got no time. There's the second peek, and Artie and Zhao goes way too quick. If he hides, he wins the round, but he pushes, he pressures, and DGT, head on a swivel, flicks him into oblivion. 8 for 9Z on the T side. Let's see if we get this one again, because DGT just puts what could be the final nail in the Sharks' coffin.
Absurd, given the round by that final player. Force the plant. 7 seconds left. He has to stick it or lose the round. Or win the fight, I guess. But you don't have to commit to the duel.
Yeah.
You can just shoulder peek and make him come off. Massive win, Young Sharks. Forcing what they can. It's good in terms of riflery, but shambolic in terms of utility. No kit. Some smokes and a flash. You're going to try to win via attrition, and the attrition duels have been won by 9Z handedly. DGT continues the trend. 15 kills for himself in this first half. Buda nipping at his heels, 13. A kill that again goes unanswered. The FAMAS dispatched. 9Z, what direction do you go? They have lobby control, that a player looking outside for aggression. Pepe. Spotting on A. Is Goffalo in an off angle. Around a smoke towards door, I believe. 9Z just shifting gears again, looking to walk towards outside. There's a player in secret that can be exploited here. It looks like he's walking up. Doc. A lot of this rests on timing. He'll fall away at the perfect time.
Second pick from DGT out towards A from Squeaky. They're getting plucked apart, are the Sharks. They're grabbing lobby control, but the bomb is going the other direction, down secret stairs to B again. DGT's backed all the way into his own spawn, waiting for somebody to push on through. He's just here to lock down anybody pushing on behind. Doc's got the info, but he can't even get anything done as Buda takes the contact and dismembers his head. Koala, one trade back from ramp. Spotted by Martinez, who will not miss that. The time is low, but the bomb will get planted for free. Buda locks it down with the last. And the firepower of Buda and DGT completely carry 9Z to another 9-3 half. And it could have been so much more if they were able to claim that pistol. But a domineering offensive from 9Z on their map pick sets them up for success as we hit the halftime break.
A smothering first half from 9Z on the T side of their map pick, and things should only be getting easier from there as they head on to that defensive side of Nuke. It's Pineapple Phillips and Boggs to bless the ears for what could be the final map of this series in the evening. Again, 4 rounds in 9Z will sweep this one in a 2-0 fashion. It was a dominant victory on Mirage 13-8. Now they need to play disciplined and clean on their defense. Get it across the line. Doolies for Martinez. Wasso Peak. Wasso Peak at ramp finds one. Buda supporting by the second. Wasso Peak still hungry. Swings out. Doesn't get anything. Koala and Goffalo both get trades. 3 versus 3. And Dooley's recovered for Goffalo. Could be an X factor, but he is low on HP. He needs to be careful. A wrap in towards A is the call, but at range, the USP strikes. Artie and Zhao's flank finally bears fruit, but it's only to even things up. 2 versus 2. Koala smokes towards Hut. Martinez lurks out, and a drop down the vents comes through. The Sharks trying to stay ahead of their adversaries, do so successfully. Should get the bomb down, but can they actually win the fights when they come through?
DGT might get the backstab on Koala. He's looking too close, and DGT on the outside of his vision has a free headshot. Artie and Zhao out of ramp now. No kits to deal with in the opposition, but 9Z will go for the defuse here soon enough. They spot him out on the ramp. The long-range dual Berettas will win the fight with enough time to get the defuse through too. DGT felled, but Martinez for the trade. Pistol round for 9Z, but the bomb plant is there. Plus 4 kills for Young Sharks. So they can force up here, and they probably will. But 9Z now within 3 of putting this one to bed and facing off against Imperial in the consolidation final tomorrow.
Artie and Sal was so close on that though. He gets the Gush and kill there. The Gush on the Martinez, who survives with just 11 HP. So close to winning a monumental clutch. That would have kept them alive. They're still a long way from coming back into this one, but at this point they can't play the long game. They think of it as 1 round at a time. 10-3. Have to up an advantage, and at this point it feels do or die for Young Sharks. If they lose this, it'll be 11. They'll have no money, facing off against what will be a 12th for 9Z. So very much a do or die situation in round number 14. Sharks grouping up in the yard, slowly inching forward. It seems like 9Z are reading this right, though. 2 towards Hell down below Heaven, and 1 in Mini. So that one has left, but still 2 M4s to hold off at range. Very good prospects for 9Z.
They just have to win the fights. That's not how Martinez's day starts. He's taken down by the scout of Gaffolo. No trade there as well. B site does have a defender. And Young Sharks debating whether or not they actually want to commit to the lower site. Still moving around outside. DGT goes for a spam, finds nothing. Buda may push forward and get Koala or be caught instead. A wrap up AC and into Heaven here as well is watched for. Wasso Peak's on the angle in the rafters. Oh, that's noise. They know. He knows. He knows exactly what's going on now. That's been called, surely. 9Z have everything down except for Buda. He's destroyed in Hut. DGT won. Wasso Peak not letting his position get revealed. Now he can swing 1 and 1 for DGT, but he's spammed down by Doc as well. Max 1v2. Sprays away. Last bullet in the magazine. Finds Gaffolo peeking back with the scout. The force by close but no cigar. And 9Z keeping just ahead of Young Sharks in these scrappy rounds. But it doesn't matter. They're up by 8. And 2 more now to a date with Imperial.
Even just a bomb plant would have made things much better for Sharks in this round. Can't get it there. Max, a critical 1v2 for his team. Doesn't quite get tagged by the scout there. Lucky to be alive, though. Sharks are going to try once more. They kind of have to. Again, they're out of rope. They're out of time. They have to just go for it, take the plunge, and hope that it works out. Eagle, that 2 for Koala and Pepe. Galils for Doc and Artie and Sao. Scout once more for Goffalo. He had some good success with that. in the early goings of the round prior, but have similar success now is the question. Max dancing outside in the yard. Some harassing damage, but no casualties for either team thus far. Flash in. Duel from top mini is won by Artie and Sao. Good start. They had the advantage last time, and the round still did not go their way. Koala close door behind the smoke. Spammed, tagged a bit, but does survive. Dodges those bullets. It's a matrix. GT though. Keen on taking the duel, forces Koala all the way out of lobby. This is good control for 9Z, but it's delicate control. DGT hungry. He wants to tie things up. He gets the kill. Perfectly timed. 4 versus 4, and Martinez outside in the yard. Lines up 2. Does good damage, but does not get a kill whatsoever. Buda. Here's the wraparound. Also peek. Let's catch the scout. Tags him. Doesn't get the kill. That's critical. Will be forced back now. 20 seconds left. It's going to be an A-Wrap yet again. Will they have more success this time? DGT, the same spot as before. Swinging out, finds the one dropping. Spray transfers to the second. The Deagle gets the kill. There's still a player on site. The Deagle on site cannot get across the line. It's awkward duels across the board, but 9Z again win it in the dying seconds of the round.
Dying seconds, scrappy as well. But it does not matter. 9Z come up on top. And no bomb plant again for Young Sharks. They'll scrounge together what they can. Galil's on 2, Deagle's on 2, AK on 1. Minimal utility across the board. And 9Z have M4s and Galil themselves. A good amount of utility, although only one incendiary already used as well. With Kit on Buda and Wasso. And DGT going aggro through that smoke. Now crawls down the ladder silently into vents. Interesting choice there. We'll see what he wants to do with that angle. Martinez up on top of Credit Card. Will strike onto Doc over top of the smoke. And so the early man advantage swings back to 9Z. With Martinez still outside. With a pretty nice craft on that Prince stream. I do like the G2 glitters on that, but Wasso Peak will actually be tested here out towards ramp, and he fails that one. Not ready for the trials, apparently, is now an opportunity to bring to a man advantage for Young Sharks as Gafolo, belabored, still comes up with the win. 2 players deathly low, but a man advantage nonetheless.
Delicate. They don't have much utility. They have to win the duels. RDN, I think he's going to be pressed to do a lot of heavy lifting at this point. He has the AK. He has good HE. Has bait ahead of him. Lineup in for Buda, only 1.5. Tagging down Koala. Martinez finishes Goffalo at long last. Even footing 2 versus 2 in this flank from Max. Appears to be too good, too well timed. Player and Mini dancing. Max finds the kill onto the planter. The last one alive is Artie and Sao. When I said he was going to be hard pressed and asked to do a lot of heavy lifting. And unfortunately, he tries to lift with his back. 13-3 as 9Z make their map pick look like a cakewalk.
It was a bit more scrappy than Mirage, but the final score does give you a pretty good story of what happened. 13-3. No losses on the CT side. Utter domination from 9Z across the board. 9 rounds on T side. It was already an uphill climb for Young Sharks. When they lost the pistol, that pretty much just torpedoed their chances of pulling something out of their hats.